Okay, the second section in Unit 6, conic sections, is circles. And circles are fairly easy. They're in your textbook very short amount of time, so it doesn't take us long to teach it. And it's at the very beginning, but they really belong with parabolas. So in a circle, we did a unit circle. We did x squared plus y squared equals 1, and that was our unit circle. So now we're going to look at a circle that's not a unit circle. So it's not centered at the origin. It's going to be centered at this point HK. And the radius is r. So it's not a unit circle. Radius is not 1 unit. So the equation is h minus x, or x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. And I'm going to go ahead and complete the square on this to show you how to do this and then actually graph one. If you took Algebra 3, Advanced Algebra 2, and you remember completing the square, that's great. If not, it's not hard to teach. So there's a process behind this. My first step, I've got two variables. I have an x squared, a y squared, an x and a y. So I want to get the x's together. So I'm going to rearrange this equation. And I want to put the y's together. So I'm going to have x squared minus 10x plus y squared plus 4y. And I'm going to move this negative 71 over to the other side of the equal sign, so that makes it a positive 71. Now this process of completing the square, I'm going to complete the square first on this x. But to do that, I have to explain to you why we're completing the square. So we want to create a perfect square. A perfect square would be something like this, x minus 5 squared. And if I multiply that out, I get x squared minus 10x plus 25. So that's going to help me. So I've got the x squared minus 10x, but I need the 25. So I'm going to put that in there. But since I added the 25 here, on the left side of the equal sign, I have to add it on the right side. That allows me then to factor. So x minus 5 squared plus y squared plus 4y. And when I add 71 plus 25, I get 96. Now I have to do the same thing with the y. So my perfect square there if I look at this, y plus 2 squared is going to be y squared plus 4y plus 4. So that means I want to add 4 here. But if I add 4 on the left side, I have to add it on the right side of the equal sign. Now I can factor. Oops, that was plus 100. Okay, now it's in the form that I can find everything, but let me go back for a second. This idea of perfect squares. If you remember from Algebra 1, you would have factored perfect squares, and then you would have learned to multiply. So x minus 3 squared would be x squared minus 6x plus 9. So what's happening here, half of this negative 6 is what goes here. So if I went backwards, say I went x squared plus 14x plus 49. Half of 14 is 7. So if I did this, 7 squared is 49. That's what we're doing with that. You're actually just factoring a perfect square. So now from this equation, I can get my center is 5, negative 2, and my radius is the square root of 100. So it's 10. And when I graph this, 5, negative 2, but then I have to go out 10 in every direction. I hope I have room on the paper. I'm just going to make it. And it's not going to be pretty, but that's what I want you to see, is this is what I expect. If you don't print out the worksheet, if you don't have graph paper, ooh, that was horrible. You can draw it, but it's doable.